Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Technical Tim here, and I want to thank everyone so much who's been liking all my videos and subscribing to the channel. And I'd really appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. And I think going forward on this channel, I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing with the betting content and everything. And if you just want access to any of that, just look at my playlist below in the playlist section. And if you... I'm also going to just kind of start doing kind of a random MMA thoughts type of thing that's not completely related to betting or anything. To where I just kind of talk about whatever comes to my mind, honestly. Just, so, yeah, I'm going to kind of do that going forward. And I'm going to just say there's 4 events left, I believe. We have the Colby card, the DC card with Overeem. We have the Brazil card with Yan and Jacare. And then we have the Zombie Korea card as well. So we have 4. And we're going to have actually a break in action after next week's Brazil card. And I think during that Thanksgiving weekend, we're not going to have any fights, which is kind of nice, honestly. But, so I'm just going to make a video of my top 10 personal most anticipated fights for the next 4 events, so the rest of 2019 for the UFC. And this is just my personal ones, and I'll kind of give my reasons as I go. And if you guys have any that I'm forgetting, or if you think some of mine are dumb, just comment below. And I'm not saying these are going to be the most exciting fights. Like, some of them I picked them for that reason, but I picked some of them just maybe because I'm excited to see, you know, the development of certain prospects and things like that. So I'm not going by excitement or anything. I'm just going by what I'm kind of looking forward to for different reasons. So number 10, Marina Rodriguez and Cynthia Calvillo. I think this is just, I'm just excited to see Marina Rodriguez come into action against a really high-level opponent and a grappler. And I've been very impressed with her development. So that's kind of the reason why I'm excited for this fight, because I think Marina could potentially be a title contender at some point, and this is going to be a good test. It's a little concerning that Marcos fight that Marina had a couple fights ago, because Cynthia, if she catches a kick or something and gets on top, there could be some issues. But I think that Marina's showed a lot better balance and takedown defense against Tecia Torres, and I'm just excited to see where she's at. She keeps up a high volume of strikes, doesn't get hit that often, and this is going to be a step up in my opinion. Calvillo is a tricky fight, and and Cynthia's striking has come a long way, so I'm really excited for that fight. Another fight, and I don't know how exciting this fight will be. It could be, but I picked this fight, Song Yadong and Cody Stamann. I picked it because I feel like bantamweight's my personal favorite division in the UFC, but I feel like we haven't seen it. We haven't seen the top 10 guys or anything fight for a while. Like, we saw Simone fight against Faber recently. We haven't seen the top 15 guys, but like, we haven't seen Aljamain Sterling in a while, Pedro Munoz, a ton of guys, and I just miss these bantamweight fights. So that's why I picked this one, and both guys are good. Both guys have some good volume. Song Yadong might be a little quicker. I haven't researched any of these fights, so I'm not picking winners in this. I'm just kind of like giving my initial thoughts that I think about it, and they could change once I research. But should be a good little scrap, and it's a good fight to see how good Song Yadong is. So the next fight, number 8 on my list, is Tanner Boser, and I'm going to butcher his name, Cyril Gane. Gane is the training partner of Francis Ngannou, and I've been super impressed by him. He keeps a high volume of strikes. He's a good striker. He doesn't get hit very often. Good cardio. And he seems to have a competent ground game as well. And Tanner Boser I'm actually impressed with too. So I'm excited for this fight just to kind of see if Gane can be a possible future champion. I tend to think he's probably going to be a future champ in the UFC. He's really good for heavyweight, and I'm high on him. But Boser looked good against Daniel Spitz in his debut, and is overall just pretty good fighter. So I'm excited to see how that fight plays out, just to see if we have a possible heavyweight champion on our hands. Number 7, I'm just excited for this fight stylistically. Pantoja and Matt Schnell. I'm just excited to see them scrap. I think it's a good scrap. Pantoja always brings a tough fight and kind of goes for it. So I think that's just going to be an overall good scrap. And number 6, kind of the same reason as I picked Pantoja and Schnell, is Charles Oliveira and Jared Gordon. Gordon statistically keeps up a high volume of strikes and just brings a fucking fight every single time. And Oliveira's really been improving and has looked good in his most recent fight. So I'm excited because I just think Gordon will kind of go after Oliveira, and it'll be a fun action fight in my opinion. So I'm very excited for that one as well. Volk and Holloway. Not going to get too much into it, but Holloway, he relies, I mean, it's just a title fight, so I'm excited for it. But also, Holloway relies so much on his output, and he keeps just a ridiculous high volume of strikes. But I think this is an interesting fight for him, because Holloway sometimes relies so much on beating guys by gassing them out, and Volk's not going to gas, and Volk will land leg kicks. So that was kind of his go-to, of landing leg kicks against Aldo. So I think Volk, I haven't researched this. I might tape and think Holloway's going to smash him, but that's an interesting fight on paper. I feel like Volk just won't go away very easily against Holloway, so I'm excited for that. Next fight, number 4 on my list, is Korean Zombie and Ortega. This is just an action fight that I think will be fun. Ortega does get hit too often, but Ortega in a 5-round fight is tough, and he has an ability to land and catch people in submissions, so that should just be a fun main event for the end of the year Korea card. Number 3, Volkan Oezdemir and Alexander Rakic. I'm very excited for that fight because Rakic looks very good, but I want to see him against this level of competition. And Oezdemir, I was wrong about Volkan Oezdemir. I was never very high on him, but he seems to have fixed his cardio issues, and he looked good against Dominic Reyes, and he looked good against in his more recent fight against Ilir Latifi. So I just want to see how good both of these guys are, and I think that's just a fun action fight, and they're both going to bring it, and I think that's just going to be super high level light heavyweight, to be completely honest, and kind of we can maybe see who's going to be the next contender for the belt. The winner of this will be right there with Dominic Reyes and Corey Anderson in the title picture, and Magomed Ankalaev just won today in Russia. I think he's another guy in the come up at light heavyweight, so that will be a good one. Number 2 on my list, Jeff Neal and Mike Perry. That's just going to be fucking awesome. Neal might be a little too fast and technical for him, but Perry, we've seen it time and time again, he's super tough. I feel like Neal might be a little too much, but Perry's fucking tough and will keep coming forward, so that's going to be a fight. The number 1 on my list, and there's no surprise on this one, not only is it probably the most anticipated fight just in the mainstream media, but on paper, just not even taking mainstream MMA into account, it's the best fight statistically, I think, maybe in UFC history. I'd have to look more into it, but it's Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman. These guys keep up insane output, and we haven't really seen this much output go up against each other in one fight. It's going to be fucking insane. Colby and Usman, they keep an insane high volume of strikes, and they have historic takedown numbers as well. And I have a heavy lean on who I think is going to win that fight, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. I'm going to do a separate video predicting a winner on that one, but I mean that's just output dynamos right there. And they're DraftKings, like if you guys are DraftKings guys, they both always score super high on DraftKings with all their offense. And yeah, those are my top 10 most anticipated fights of the year, or for the rest of the year in 2019. But comment below if you have any other guys. Thanks.